Hey guys, Dennis here. I'm with
Joey. How you doing?
And we're here at the Xbox E3 press conference. It just wrapped up. Microsoft Theater here in LA. E3 is about to start. Just watched the whole press conference event.
That was a lot of stuff that happened in there.
Yes, a lot of stuff. What's your first initial thoughts?
Well, so right off the bat, they announced a whole bunch of stuff. They had 50 games on that stage, over a dozen exclusives, over a dozen world premieres. The one that sticks with me is one of the last ones that went up. We were having the last little bit, we're wrapping up, and all of a sudden the screen gets taken over, and we finally got Cyberpunk 2077, the CD Projekt Red project that we saw, a cinematic trailer for, not even last year, was it 2 years ago that we saw that? And it's been silent ever since, and we finally got something from that. We've got to see more of the way that world is going to look. It's got a really awesome kind of Blade Runner feel. And, a long time ago, we had the thing of, what's the new zombies every year at E3? Something's going to be the new zombies because everyone does zombies. I think now after Detroit and now we're getting Cyberpunk, I think androids are going to be the new zombies, and I'm totally down with that.
Kind of like a Blade Runner-esque world, kind of a dystopian future, maybe less post-apocalyptic, which was, zombies and Fallout, and now more dystopian type of future. What's interesting to me, these are the guys that made Witcher, and that's what made them famous, and that's why people are looking forward to this game. Just speaking from, this being an Xbox conference, it's interesting that's the thing they left off on, right? Because it's not an exclusive to Microsoft, right? It's going to be on PS4, it's going to be on Xbox One. Why end the show with that?
No, it's interesting. They had quite a few things that were not necessarily exclusives, but were big getters, and I think they've been lacking some of those in the past. Like if people were going to do their reveals, it was going to happen at Ubisoft or at Square Enix or something like that. So even if they don't have the exclusives, to have the world premieres is probably really powerful for Xbox. Honestly, one of the things that I was really amazed to see was the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer that we saw on this. Kingdom Hearts has been exclusively a PlayStation thing for a long time, and it's skipped a console generation. We got nothing on the PS3, and we hadn't gotten anything on this generation of consoles until now, and they premiere the trailer at the Xbox conference, not at PlayStation. So I think that's really interesting.
My biggest takeaway actually has nothing to do with games, or not to do with a specific game, but Microsoft in general purchasing 5 development studios so that they can get more exclusives. I feel like this press conference was more to set up for the future, right?
Yeah.
Not really so much. I mean, we had things we'll talk about like Halo and Gears 5, but this was about purchasing studios that they could make exclusive content just for the Xbox, because that's what the biggest thing is. Look, PlayStation is outselling the Xbox in some reports 2-1, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of an issue that I have with that number, in that PlayStation was outselling Xbox for a very long time, and so there's a market saturation at some point. Like, if everyone has PS4s, yes, Xbox is going to outsell PS4 because everyone already has PS4s, because it came out at a lower price point. It was doing better early on, and now people are getting their Xbox Ones, particularly the kind of people who have 2 consoles. Yeah. So that explains some of it, but still 2-1 is a big deficit.
Yeah, and so Xbox or Microsoft needs to catch up with Sony PlayStation, and the biggest complaint for gamers is that there wasn't as many exclusives to the Xbox, right?
And there weren't enough reasons to buy an Xbox.
And so this is them, they bought what? They bought Ninja Theory, they bought
that did Hellblade.
Yes, they also bought
They bought Playground Studios that did Forza Horizon and are doing Forza Horizon 4. They bought Compulsion, which has been doing We Happy Few for the longest time, and We Happy Few is finally coming to console, not in beta mode. And I gotta say, that trailer for We Happy Few, I feel like We Happy Few always tricks me, because those trailers look so good, the story looks so compelling, and I have not been impressed with any of the betas or the pre-launch early access stuff. Maybe a lot of that's changed. Maybe Xbox and Microsoft are really helping them, but honestly, that trailer almost got me hooked on that game again.
Yeah, I really like that trailer. Devil May Cry 5 was a big pop from the audience as well.
Yeah. Speaking of pops from the audience,
yes.
You want to talk about?
Yes. So Gears 5, everyone was kind of waiting for a Gears of War announcement. And the way I think they kind of handled it was a little clunky because the first thing they did was show a little teaser of a Gears Pop Funko game.
Yeah, it was. It looked like the equivalent of like a Lego game.
Yes.
But you don't have the multiple franchise craziness that you do with say Marvel or something like that, Lego Marvel. You have just Gears of War, and it's just Pops, and it's just mobile. And, they popped the Gears of War logo up there.
And people went crazy.
And people went, oh my God, Gears of War 5. And then when the little pop figure.
Yes.
Oh, God.
So it was a little confusing for people. Then they talked about the PC kind of
Gears of War
strategy type game. And then they did the Gears 5. And so people were a little confused. And then when Gears 5 finally came up, they're like, okay, is this really a new game or not?
Yeah, you don't get the cheer that Gears deserves. They went up there and went, oh, by the way, Gears of War 5.
Yeah, which I understand, kind of why they did that, because they didn't want to do Gears 5 and then do the other ones that would be overshadowed by it. But at the same time, I think the way they kind of presented it was a little. They should have maybe done those first two, had someone come out. And then said, okay.
I feel like the order they did it in was fine, but it was the fact that it was so nonchalant on Gears 5. They should have been like, all right, I'm sorry we didn't give you Gears of War 5. I know you were really expecting it. You know what? Just because you wanted it so much, we're going to give it to you right now.
Yeah, something like that. Someone should have came out and talked about it. I mean, what did you think about the trailer? I mean, it was a mix of some in-game cinematics and some gameplay. It seems almost like, not like a side mission, but it almost seems like a spin-off, even though it's Gears 5.
It feels like Uncharted The Lost Legacy, honestly. Where you're playing as some of the other characters that you're used to in some kind of side story. But Kate is a pretty compelling character. I'm happy to follow her and play through a story with her. The way they're handling that character is very interesting, and I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah. What else popped for you in there?
What popped for me was Dying Light 2.
Okay.
Dying Light 2, Dying Light at first was a very, very exciting game, and I love zombie parkour. Zombie parkour sounds like an awesome thing. Those are two words that'll get me into most games, and Dying Light 2 giving it a kind of narrative, choose-your-own-adventure version of the story, and really affecting universes. I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, I mean, people want now branching storylines, branching characters. You're talking about Detroit. You're talking about a lot of different games that are focusing on that now. I heard from the audience just when they announced the Jump Force game, that was the beat 'em up game with Dragon Ball and Naruto and a bunch of other
all kinds
properties.
of Shonen Jump anime jumping in there. It's gonna have Death Note. It's gonna have all kinds of things. It's gonna have One Piece in there. Everyone always argues with their animes of who's stronger, who's better, and now we finally get to know. This is Capcom has been able to do this flawlessly. Marvel vs. Capcom has been such an iconic franchise, and being able to pit two franchises or multiple franchises against each other is something that they're really good at doing. So having all the Shonen Jump mangas and anime in under one game and making it a fighting game, totally down for that.
One of my favorite things was watching kind of beta footage of Division 2. Just it looked cool because in the first game you kind of had that environment, but it was just kind of in the city, where this kind of lend itself to a different look because they had footage of this plane that had crashed in the middle of, I'm not exactly where, but it's
in the capital. It's in Washington, D.C., right?
And then so it just had a different look to it.
I think the plane was actually Air Force One.
Was it?
As you're looking around.
No wonder it was so gigantic.
Right. But no, I think that it's really cool that the trailers that we used to get where people were trying to fake gameplay and things like that, we didn't have someone sitting up there with a controller going, yes, we're playing this right now, and this is exactly how people talk, and this is we're losing that a little bit and kind of showing that it is a show or just not addressing it at all.
Yeah.
And it makes you focus on the gameplay a little bit more. It makes you focus on what they're showing. And while it didn't seem like it was too different from what they did with the original Division as far as how they presented things. That's not a bad thing. You know, they're basically giving us what we wanted out of, what we got out of the first Division and what we wanted in a sequel.
Yeah. So any other games that they announced that you're interested in?
Personally, I'm pretty excited about Forza Horizon 4.
Okay.
I jump in
But
and out.
you're a racing guy.
I jump in and out of racing games. Like, racing games either have to be like super accurate Gran Turismo style, and I have to have like the force feedback and all that, or they got to be Mario Kart.
Okay.
And there are very few games that work in between. Forza Horizon is one franchise for me that works in the in-between space.
Nice. I'm trying to think of. There's a bunch of smaller games that are announced. They even announced the Tales of Vesperia
Definitive Edition.
Yeah, Definitive Edition that a lot of fans were liking as well. And
a lot of things that are coming to Xbox Pass, the Game Pass. Like there are plenty of things that were coming out as day one. We're going to be available on Game Pass. Forza Horizon 4 is going to be available day one on Game Pass.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting to me.
Some older games too. They mentioned Fallout 4 and the First Division are going to be on Game Pass. They're talking about this fast start thing where now you can start the game much quicker than before. And they're also talking about utilizing, and this is kind of more in the weeds type of stuff, but using Microsoft's cloud platform to enable more console quality gaming on your mobile, which what they do is they use all the processing power in the cloud and on their servers. They stream the video. So basically all you're doing is sending your inputs to them, and they're sending back.
And that latency is getting shorter and shorter and shorter, and we're finally able to really utilize that. The one thing that I really thought we were going to get out of this Xbox conference, and we kind of did, but I felt like it was so lackluster, was the Halo announcement.
Okay.
We got a little teaser of it.
Yes.
We got a title, Halo Infinite, and that was it. We don't get a confirmation that it's a full game. Like, what if this is like a Halo Wars? What if this is something else?
I have a feeling watching that trailer that it may not Halo Wars.
No.
But I have a feeling that it's going to be something not the traditional.
Not the main story.
Yes, not the main story, and maybe not even exactly the same type of gameplay.
Yeah, that's my worry. I'm worried that it's not going to be a new Halo first-person shooter.
Much like how Fallout 76 is going to be different. It's not going to be a straight-up, Fallout game where it's...
Oh, God, I just had a horrible thought.
So there may be a Fortnite version
that's
of
what
Halo.
I thought. What if it's a Royale? Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
That's the kind of feel that I was getting from that.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's... Now that I'm thinking about it, that's what it looked like. And even the name Infinite makes it sound like a Battle Royale version of Halo. I need to think about some things. Hopefully the rest of the conference can shed some more light on that.
Definitely.
And we'll have a bunch more stuff. Dennis, scrub my brain of that, please.
Yeah. So that's our thoughts. I mean, my big takeaway was I feel like Microsoft is kind of setting up stuff for actually next year just by buying those studios. And they want to, I mean, how many times did we hear the word exclusive through the whole thing?
Exclusive and world premiere. One of the things that I did notice a little bit, they talked a little bit about their future, and they talked about the hardware development side of things. And it wasn't on the stream. You wouldn't have caught it. But on the monitors, while they said that, whatever was on the monitor, just like green moving pixels and stuff, a little like triangle, square, like a corner of a console popped in for a little bit. They didn't put that on the stream, I noticed. And then it went away. So maybe they're working on another console. Maybe it's way down the line.
They mentioned that they're working on it.
Yeah,
but we just don't know
what
the iteration is.
Maybe they're closer than we
There was no
think.
VR talk.
No, that's true.
I thought there would be one after last year's announcement with the Xbox One X that, like, okay, using this processing power, they would move into the VR stuff. Nothing.
And maybe that's what that hardware mention was hinting at, and it's just not ready yet. But, with Microsoft, you would imagine that, some kind of partnership with Oculus or Vive or something like that would be in the works. but I don't know what to expect.
Yeah. So what's your big takeaway from this?
Jump Force.
Okay.
Jump Force is the biggest one for me. Dying Light 2 and Cyberpunk 2077.
All right.
Those are my list.
All right, guys. So that's it for us here at the Xbox press conference at E3. We're going to have a lot more coverage. We're going to talk about the Bethesda press conference, the Sony PlayStation press conference, and then we'll be on the floor on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. So we'll have more coverage, and check out and subscribe to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/collidergames, and we'll see you guys next time.
Check it out.